in the Carnegie World Club Challenge. Leeds 8, Melbourne Storm 4. Nothing to choose between the champions of North and Southern Hemisphere.
Very tight indeed, but Leeds must fancy themselves in regards to this enormous win. There's a man that put them in front. It was great work by the fullback Brent Webb. We have seen some real magic from both number ones, Webb and Slater. And I just get a funny feeling there's going to be more to come as the Storm comes out onto the Ellen Road pitch and be met by a storm. It is swirling the rain.
And Melbourne will have that wind and rain in their faces. Look at it. They will have that in their faces at the start of this second half.
They'll need a bigger defensive effort than what they displayed in the first 40. But they must be looking to the loose forward, Dallas Johnson. 28 tackles in the first half. Phenomenal.
Well, though they've lost to some key personnel, Cameron Smith, Greg Inglis, Michael Crocker, Matt King to Warrington, Clinton Newton to Hull Kingston Rovers, they still have got 8 internationals in their squad. This Melbourne Storm outfit, they are no mugs, there's no doubt about that.
And they showed that, haven't they? Some of the defence. Full credit to Leeds, though. They really had a bit of a shaky patch, but they consolidated, got themselves sorted out.
Well, this match is being watched live in Australia, courtesy of Channel 9. It's also going to Australia via Fox Sports and to New Zealand via TVNZ. So you're all very welcome. Sky TV NZ. You are all very welcome to this blustery and damp night here in West Yorkshire. Elland Road, the home of Leeds United Soccer Club, and being used tonight by the Leeds Rhinos. And over 30,000 people inside here. Most of them hoping and praying that it is the Leeds Rhinos who come out on top, but I think everyone in Australia will excuse them for that. The kick from Cooper Cronk right down the centre of the field. We've heard all about injury news for Leeds. There's some injury news for Melbourne Storm, Bill.
Well, yeah, Steve Turner has not gone out there to the start of the second half. He's on the bench, and Jeremy Smith on. Turner with concussion, according to the Melbourne bench, and he must have played a fair bit of the first half with that, or feeling the effects of that, because he got a hefty knock early on in the game, but they decided that he can't continue and he won't be back in the second half. Neither, it seems, will Danny Maguire, still suffering the after effects of that late hit, which made him land right in the point of his shoulder. He's got a stinger, it's still not wearing off, and they can't really find out just how serious the injury is until that subsides, so they're unlikely to put him back out there.
Dr. Tony Smith, will you enlighten us? What on earth is a stinger? I know Bill gave us the Latin term for it, but what does it mean?
It's just the sensation that you get, almost like pins and needles, where your arm goes dead for a temporary time and then comes good and the blood flow goes again. And often it happens to players and they get their way through it. Sounds a little bit more serious than that if he hasn't got the feeling back yet.
Well, as I say, there's a long way of this Super League season to go for Leeds and Danny Maguire, so no point in taking unnecessary risks, albeit the size of the trophy and the title that's on offer here tonight. Sinfield gets the ball away to Webb. Here is Tupi, and Tupi put the ball behind Lee Smith. And there's a bit of an argy-bargy, and Tupi...
Oh, they're throwing.
Well, there are. Tupi's arms are down by his side because Melbourne have got hold of it.
Well, there's a few handbags being thrown, and then there was some real stuff.
Not the best way to celebrate your birthday, this.
Not really. Plenty to say, and why on earth he just... Tupi pushes Anthony Quinn for no apparent reason other than the fact that he tackled him. It is allowed.
I think he took exception that he got tipped over, after the ball went. I'm defending him here a little bit. He didn't like it.
Well, it's his 28th birthday. You think they'd be a bit kinder to him on leap year day, wouldn't you? You really would.
Have a scrum. He's calm down, all right?
Well, there was... Yeah,
well, there was a bit of a dump there as well, wasn't there, by the winger, Anthony Quinn. He picked up the legs and dumped him, drilled him into the ground.
Yeah, on that second... It was Quinn that was the culprit, and a little bit of a word too.
Clinton needs to just leave that to the referee, doesn't he? Rather than come back in. if the referee was going to deal with it, he shouldn't take it upon himself. But I can understand why he took exception to the tackle.
No penalties forthcoming. Referee takes them back to the scrum.
You know, previously I've seen Leeds react really positive after an incident like this, Eddie. They'll just compress here in defence. Just watch Keith Senior take this defensive line forward. This is a brave run here.
And it's the man who caused all the aggravation, Anthony Quinn. Signed from Newcastle Knights a year ago, Quinn. Gaia. Oh, that's a big collision.
Let's all pile in.
Scruton and Diskin leading the way.
They're at it again. This is wonderful defence by Leeds, and that's what they have to do. The tactics, Brian McLennan, their coach, would have said to them, we play all this game right down in their half.
Here's Matt Gaia. Matt Gaia gets it away to Billy Slater. Slater is halted on halfway by Keith Senior. I think Cooper Cronk will hoist the ball downfield. It bounces in front of Brent Webb.
It's the World Tough Challenge this now, Eddie. It's no longer the World Club Challenge. The conditions mean that you're going to have to play simple, but you're going to have to play very physically and very aggressive. Look, little guys picking it up from dummy half, trying to make 5 metres, 10 if they possibly can, and then the big forwards. Look, the 3 or 4 defenders every time trying to knock you back towards your try line, and you've got to carry it forward.
Question people might be asking at home is just how long Melbourne can keep this going for, because their fitness has not been in doubt for 44 minutes.
No, they're a very fit team, and they're very compressed with the ball, and you know, you could see Leeds compress up their line because Melbourne aren't going to pass it out to the edges so much, not unless they get right down into the opposition's half. So, you know, they're playing pretty conservatively with the ball, conserving their own energy. That's why they can defend for long periods of time. They're a very fit team.
They are indeed, and Kevin Sinfield's kick was going straight at the face of Anthony Quinn, and the Melbourne winger just ducked underneath it, and the ball just stayed from a Leeds point of view on the right side of the whitewash. That's why the Storm have head and feet here.
The Rhinos will be happy with that as well. As I mentioned before, they've just got to play possession and position. It's going to be very difficult for the Melbourne side to get anywhere near the halfway line when it comes to their time to kick on the last.
Billy Slater's run is halted by 3, and then Carl Abbott just finishes him off. That was Gaia, and this is Dallas Johnson. Dally M loose forward of the year in 2007 in Australia. It's Gaia. Hoffman was making the decoy run on his left shoulder. Held on to the ball. Cronk again dabs it down the line.
Good kick.
It is a good kick because Brent Webb has got to pick this up and run it out. And Brent Webb just doesn't quite make it. Is trapped in goal. It's going to be a goal line dropout here. And again, there's a bit of argy-bargy, but there's great celebration amongst the Melbourne Storm players for this wonderful kick and chase.
Kick's only as good as your chase, and it was perfect. They won't get many opportunities, the Melbourne Storm, to have possession and apply the pressure to Leeds, providing, of course, that Leeds play to that kicking game and utilise this enormous win. This should go miles.
Well, it went only as far as halfway on the bounce to Slater, and he tips the ball inside, and this is a big test now of the Leeds defence. And that was Johnson. And this is the substitute, Sikamanu.
Watch for the inside ball to the fullback Slater.
Gaia. Back it comes. And that's Aitken. Russ Aitken. He got a try against Halifax last Friday. Cronk gives it to Slater. And there's the big centre, Will Chambers, but wonderful defence from Leeds again. Just managed to stay in the field of play. Does Will Chambers. Cronk again. Up the middle they go with Adam Blair. Adam Blair still going, that's the last tackle.
Will it be a dink in the in-goal area to try to keep it low?
10 metres from the line, Cronk again. Now he's going wide, looking to get the winger in on that far side. Oh, and Tangatese just couldn't take it in. It's a knock-on, that will be the turnover.
Good option. Kick down, didn't want to go for it, knew that he had someone coming onto it, and Tagatese, perhaps a little bit flat-footed. Would have been better served to have stood back maybe a couple of yards. This is where the big boys need to just get in a good position. They're out of the blocks quickly. That's a penalty.
Offside against Melbourne.
And the big boys are coming back, Steve-O, because Jamie Peacock's just come back on, and here comes Gareth Ellis as well. So they're really trying to lift it here, the Rhinos.
They are indeed, and they have the start of this set of 6 here with Peacock with the drive. International Forward of the Year, Jamie Peacock, for the second successive year in 2007. As Nick Scruton takes the ball up for the Rhinos, England international. Crowd lift as well, try and get the Rhinos going here. Webb gives it to Lauer TT. Lauer TT, no way through.
Another drive and make sure the kick is into the in-goal area. Apply the pressure.
Sinfi.
When you've got that lead, the confidence is running through your body. You know that you can control the game. They don't have to force the pass.
Burrow with a bullet pass to Webb. Good ball. This is Ellis. Last tackle here for Leeds. Disc into Burrow. Angled kick from Burrow, but straight into the arms of Adam Blair. He played under Brian McLennan, did Adam Blair, in the 2006 Tri-Nations, including the extra time defeat by Australia in Sydney in the final.
You just feel that the tempo has really risen from this Leeds forward pack. They're hunting as a real pack and getting right into them.
That's Hoffman again.
It's hurting the Melbourne players.
Gaia. Good defence again from Leeds. Gareth Ellis. There was no way through then for Brett White. The kick again is deep into that corner. Brent Webb is after it. Referee has shouted all on. And Tagatese gets there first. Burrow. Burrow to Donald. It's Melbourne's turn to look for the mistake in their opponent's half of the field. Diskin in at dummy half. Here is Lee Smith.
Pretty compact defence as well. But Leeds, they're not trying anything fancy, just good, solid, hard work.
Scruton with a good drive forward.
Wouldn't surprise me if Leeds start kicking early rather than wait till the last.
There's Burrow. Burrow with a scampering run, trying to get under the big man. That's the last one. We're only just over the halfway line here, Leeds. Sinfield. Boot to ball. Slater just waited the moment, and then took the tackle from Tupi. 10 minutes gone, second half, as we were at half-time. 8-4 to the Rhinos. This is Anthony Quinn.
Problem for Tupi. Looks like the arm or the right shoulder is gone.
Or a dislocated finger, maybe. Physio's out there, maybe trying to put it back. And Bill, I think you've got a very close-up view of what's happening there.
Yeah, just a few yards away from me, and Clinton Tupi immediately signalled to the bench, the physio out there, and the signal from him, that is no good. Clinton Tupi, who's had an eventful night. What a way to celebrate your birthday. He's off the field. They're going to have to make another change. Maguire already is out of the action. They might have to review that. Ryan Bailey not 100% fit. He's just had his left arm strapped. So all sorts of problems compiling for the Rhinos now.
Well, Kali Luluai is waiting to come on because Clinton Tupi is going straight to the dressing room with that shoulder injury, and that doesn't look good. You're right, Steve, it was the shoulder. Thought for a moment it was a finger that had been dislocated, but you've got it spot on.
Well, he was in a lot of pain, you could see that. But the most surprising thing for me, when nearly 12 minutes into this second half, is that Leeds were expected to utilise the wind, but the best kicking game has come from Melbourne. It has kicked into open spaces. Leeds have to get it, hoof it up, let the wind do the rest. That's better.
Burrow has done that. But it bounces into the arms of this wonderful fullback, Billy Slater. Just got round the outside of one, but wouldn't get past Donald and Senior. That's Israel Folau. The crowd just have gone a little quiet again. They know that this is a crucial period of the game for the Leeds Rhinos. There's Kafusi.
Well, they know they've got a problem with injured players. So there's not a lot of option for Brian McLennan to interchange.
Here comes Melbourne again in the shape of Sikamanu. Steady progress from him in 2007. He was a junior Kiwi just 3 years ago. This is Russ Aitken. Last tackle here now for Melbourne.
Leeds need to attempt to get some pressure on the kicker. You know who's going to kick the ball. Cooper Cronk, the 7-9's back. That time they do.
And straight into the arms of Keith Senior, who keeps the movement going. Oh, but Rob Burrow comes up with the knock-on, and Melbourne have it back in the shape of Tagatese.
Very rare you see that from the little fella. Burrow just grabbed at it.
This is Matt Geyer. Maybe Senior would have been better just keeping hold of the ball going to ground. Because here come the Melbourne Storm again. On the bounce, it finds its way to Chambers. Good defence from Leeds down this right-hand side. It's Anthony Quinn who's in there at dummy half and organising this play. He takes it up on his own. Good tackle by Scruton, helped out by Ellis. Guy awaits dummy half. They're 7 metres away from the line, Melbourne Storm. Cronk will come back inside. Kylie Luluai picked him out then. 4 tackles gone. Geyer, short ball. This is the big prop forward, Brett White. Last tackle here for Melbourne. Can Leeds survive? Cronk with a kick to the corner. Yes, they can survive. They're offside, what's more, Melbourne. Offside as Scott Donald dropped on that loose ball, so that's a relieving penalty for the Rhinos.
Lets the pressure off. Not a bad option in clear. But you can see that Israel Folau just in front of the kicker. And if you move within the 10 metres, you'll get penalised.
Come on, guys.
Now Leeds, will they just roll the sleeves up and make it a little bit easier for them?
Good run from Lautiti.
Go.
On the first.
It's okay.
Here's Keith Senior. He would love to celebrate his new 12-month extension to his contract.
Okay, don't thrash.
Super League's most experienced player is Keith Senior. I think we called offside for that penalty against Melbourne. It apparently was for a push off the ball by a Melbourne Storm player.
Either way, Leeds.
Great run from Burrow.
Beautiful.
But he gave the ball to Melbourne.
All that hard work. The first real time. Oh, and they've given away a penalty. That's the first time we've seen Beat make that break. Well, it went to the wrong person.
Sinfield is penalised for coming in late in the flop.
Little doubt either. Not surprisingly. The Storm say we're not going to kick against this strong wind. We'll just do the tap. Well, 2 errors from Rob Burrow.
Here's Brett White.
And neither have been forced. And
Now
for
the
a
crowd
long time,
get their voice.
About time too. They need something.
This is Hoffman, being watched tonight by a crowd of 33,000. Good run from Chambers.
Come on, Jamie! Come on, Jamie!
Not the greatest weather. Oh, knock on by Chambers. Now, is that the first sign of fatigue, I wonder?
Lack of concentration, more like it. Good hard work. It is a slippy ball.
I think that's their first error this half, isn't it? They've just been punching the sets out and just completing, trying to build some pressure. But, you know, to get the ball at this part of the field is a great relief for the Rhinos.
What a contrast for Leeds Rhinos, their first World Club challenge. They won 39-32. Here we are now 56 minutes into this one, and it's 8-4. This is a real battle. Leeds have the extra fitness, and you would think in the last 20 minutes of this game that must surely come to the fore. But Melbourne, it looks as though they've got plenty left in the engine.
Nothing's going to plan tonight, that is for sure.
Ellis. Down he goes on tackle number 4. Diskin is waiting the dummy half. Gives it to Peacock. Peacock drives it in. Melbourne stand firm.
Big hit there from Jeff Lima. Peacock felt that one. What do they do on the last?
Burrow with a kick from Sinfield. Intelligent kick as well. Excellently collected though by Israel Folau. But a good chase.
Both Folau and Will Chambers have really impressed me, but that's great defence. Oh, that is cool. Quinn's going nowhere.
Look at them now flying in. Chambers, good relieving run this.
You'll hear more from this fella, that's for sure. Will Chambers is at a cracking game.
Gaia takes it forward a few more metres. That's the last. They're deep inside their own half here, Melbourne. Kick will have to be good. Cooper Cronk, not a bad one because it turns Brent Webb around. Webb will come down and attack them, but halted by Anthony Quinn.
Move that three. Go.
Interesting on that kick and chase. There were only 2 Melbourne players. Pretty close to the man taking the ball, Brent Webb. A little bit of fatigue maybe coming into it.
Another Leeds player is down on his haunches. Brent Webb is it, the fullback? That would be a hammer blow. They've had a couple already with injuries.
Just get a feeling that some of the really big hits that Melbourne put in that first half, is it taking its toll? There's the fullback under a lot of pressure.
This is Carl Ablett. And Ablett goes down on the last. They're only just over halfway now, are the Leeds Rhinos.
Will they put pressure on the winger?
Burrow, that flicked off the head of a Melbourne chaser. Offside, well.
Just here, Kevin's holding up there, mate.
That's a big call.
Jeff.
That is one big call by Ashley Klein.
Basically, all night they've been borderline on taking out the kicker.
I think it's for taking the kicker out from what I've just heard.
You can't go touching him once.
They had a leap at him, did Lima.
It was pretty late. Put the shoulder in.
Burrow didn't make anything of it, to be fair. And I wonder if here, if Kevin Sinfield will have a pop at goal. He will. Lima penalised for illegally charging down Rob Burrow.
Certainly made contact. Had he committed himself? No, according to Ashley Klein. This will be a big relief for Leeds.
I think it's a fair enough call too. I think he had ample time to pull out of it. You know, he's putting pressure on, that's fine, but you don't have to continue on with it once the kick's gone. And I think he's, you know, sometimes we say, oh, he's already committed, and you can be, but I think he knew what he was doing there to carry through.
There's a problem in the crowd. Someone's got one of these radar things. I don't actually know what they call them, but I saw it flash up on Sinfield's jersey. He's just told the referee, I think, that he's asking the stewards to find out, what do they call these things, Clarkie? You're up on the technology.
A laser.
A laser, that's it. I was struggling for it. And they was trying to shine this laser into Sinfield's eyes.
Well, I can't see anyone with an Australian flag, so it must have been one of the Leeds' own supporters doing that. I can't believe it, Steve-O.
Well, it could have been someone from over your neck of the woods.
Everybody in Super League, Steve-O, is behind the Leeds Rhinos tonight. Don't worry about that.
Everybody's a rhino for the day, aren't
Yes, absolutely.
Apart from this bloke with a laser. He'll always get one.
Well, an important kick this for Sinfield. An important kick for Leeds. Well, that reaction will tell you that Leeds have opened up a 6-point advantage, which means Melbourne now have to score twice.
He's sitting comfortably, isn't he, Brian McLennan? And all these fans. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
That's the one. You looked at me with dismay, Ed E.
Well, that must have come from behind the post or in the corner somewhere. Anyway, we could do without it, let's say that.
Well, it's stupid, isn't it?
An hour gone in the last quarter of the match. Leeds ahead 10-4. And Melbourne have to score twice now. That's the importance of that Kevin Sinfield penalty. Correct decision, Tony Smith.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's fair enough. You know, I don't know. Every time when you get into that sort of area, I think sometimes it's good to put pressure on and make a team work their way out. But on that occasion, yeah, I think it was the right call. In this tight condition, it's going to be tough to get 2 tries. If Leeds can get another one, it'll be real tough then.
That's what they're looking for here as they cross halfway with Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Just an indication there, Ryan Hoffman just almost grabbing at thin air. It's the last tackle here, though, now for Leeds. Sinfield again with a kick. It's a good kick, too. But Slater He seems to be the right man in the right place at the right time all the time, this fullback. A world-class player, but never yet he has featured for the Australians. Maybe we'll see him in the World Cup at the end of this year. As Kafusi drives it forward again.
Desperate time now for the Australian side. They realise they're struggling to get anywhere in a good position to get the kick away.
Offside against Leeds. The referee was
help.
shouting at the Rhinos then to stay out. It was either Jamie Peacock or Kevin Sinfield. They're both in front.
He had a few to pick from. There you see Peacock saying, come on, fellas. Desperate defence. It's been pretty good because in the second half, just out wide of the ruck, Leeds have been coming in very, very quickly, forcing Melbourne down that middle channel. They've got to have the composure now, the Rhinos. They have not got to give away a silly penalty.
Cooper Cronk gets the ball away to Slater. Here they come down that right-hand channel, and that was Jeremy Smith. It's Cronk again. Infield it comes now to Kafuso.
Get involved a little bit more, Cooper Cronk.
37 tackles, by the way, for number 13 on the right of your screen there, Dallas Johnson. An incredible effort. Great run from Jeremy Smith. Hit the ball at pace. Good tackle from Rob Burrow. Here is Cronk. Will kick surely crossfield, and he does. Looking for Chambers. But Chambers wasn't interested. It was taken brilliantly by Lee Smith.
Wonderful play by the youngster. It was a teasing little effort right down towards his wing.
Smith again. Big hit from Russ Aitken. Look at the tackling by Diskin, 33. Johnson, 37. Incredible efforts tonight from those two.
Super fit these days.
Johnson was just involved in that as well. He gets back into the defensive line. He looks absolutely worn out, Dallas Johnson. He's still out there, though. It's the last tackle here for Leeds.
I'm not surprised, Eddie. We're doing so many tackles. It's been a tremendous effort, but also, as you pointed out, Matt Diskin, he's got through a tremendous amount of work. That's a bit too strong.
Yes, the kick from Brent Webb, not good, rather, with the gust of wind behind him.
Sometimes it's not all that bad. You know, it gives them a chance to get a good line. If you're out from that sort of distance, it's not a bad thing. They had to wait for a while, makes the Melbourne players run back on side. So sometimes, if you're over halfway and you can put it dead, it's not such a bad result.
Yes, they're asking Melbourne to make some ground now up the other end of the field. That's 2 tackles gone. Here's Hoffman. This is Chambers. Good work. Low down by Ablett. Finished off by Lee Smith. Smith, the 21-year-old England international. He got to try in last year's grand final. Big collision off the ball then by Brett White and Kylie Luluai. Gaia to Cronk. It's a lovely chip over the top, looking for Billy Slater, but well watched by Scott Donald.
Wonderful way how he read that kick. Full credit, though, to Melbourne. They're trying everything. All the tricks in the book. Kick over the top. They had the men there. Good job it was diffused by Scott Donald.
15 minutes away and 6 points the difference. Can Leeds claim this World Club Challenge in the next quarter of an hour?
Eddie, they can. You know, Leeds rarely concede tries when they are 50 metres or so from their own try line. It's very hard to score against the Rhinos because they're such a quick side. The recovery of the line's broken. So they continue to play on the right half of the screen. We've got every chance that the Rhinos will win this match.
Sinfield with a lovely chip over the top for Carl Ablett. Bounced off the knees. This is going to be given. This could be given. It's a video referee decision. And Carl Ablett, did he get a fingertip to it, or did it, as I first thought, bounce off his knees? He's onside.
No problem with that. Wonderful kick over. They had the numbers out wide. This will tell the story. It hits the knee first, but does he just have a little grab with the left hand? You can't see it from there. He's bringing the pandies together. Knee first.
Yeah. Oh, he's touched it.
You just saw the Pandies going together, and that was going to be the difference. There was no one at home. It was wonderful play. Kick over the top, something that Melbourne have done throughout this second stanza. And boy, that could have sealed it.
Well, they're looking at the grounding, but they're looking to see how to restart the match, I think. This will be no try, we believe. What does Phil Bentham say? He agrees. And scrum, head and feet to the defence for the knock-on.
The breaking play probably suits the Melbourne Storm. They've had a chance to get a drink, catch their breath and have a quick talk. The leadership group came together, the senior players, Geyer, Cronk, Johnson, they then all had a chat. They know what they've got to do. Obviously the time's ticking against them and they're at the wrong end of the field. It's giving them a chance to recover.
Bang! What a hit! That was Luluai. And not Brett White, it was Antonio Kofusi who felt that. The referee, by the way, he decided, because that was on the last tackle correctly, that it was the turnover. They're flying in now, Leeds. That was Peacock leading the way on Matt Geyer.
They've got to keep their hands down, though.
This is Johnson.
Cannot afford to just lose concentration, give away that penalty.
Long kick downfield. Brent Webb's under this.
That's the first back kick that we've seen from the Storm in the second half. That's good work.
Let's hear from Bill about the state of Clinton Tupy. Went off with shoulder problems, Bill.
Eddie, the Rhinos have really put their shoulder to the wheel tonight, and it's proved a painful experience for Clinton Tupy and Danny Maguire. Maguire still suffering from that stinger that he picked up in the first half. Clinton Tupy did dislocate his shoulder. They've managed to pop it back in, but he's in a lot of discomfort. And as we mentioned earlier on, if this is to be a World Club Challenge triumph for the Rhinos, it might come at a price.
Indeed so. 4 points clear at the top of the Engage Super League, the Leeds Rhinos. They will stay there no matter what happens over the next 2 days.
I just wonder,
as Bill says, it'll come at a price, Steve, if they win this.
It certainly will, and I'm just wondering when Brian McLennan perhaps would send a message out and say, listen, with only 6 points in front, maybe to go for the 1 point, the drop goal, will it be on? I think it's an option that I would be accepting. Get anywhere near those posts.
Here's Burrow, and he's taking them towards the posts. Hauled down by Jeff Lima. Leeds asking, well, the fans anyway, for a penalty. It's Kevin Sinfield! He's kicked it! Bang on cue! Kevin Sinfield stretches the Leeds advantage. 11-4.
He was on cue for you there, Steve-O.
But he went early, Tony, and that was the key, because no one was going to go for it. And that is a sign of a world-class player. Sinfield, he had a bad start last year, but not this season. He is in superb form.
Steve, I don't always agree with you while I'm sitting at home when you're calling for those field goals, but tonight you were spot on. I reckon it's going to be real tough for Melbourne to get back into this now.
Indeed so, and if you like your omens, Kevin Sinfield landed a one-pointer. There he is, driving the ball out from defence. He landed a one-pointer in the last World Club Challenge that the Leeds Rhinos won under Tony Smith against Canterbury Bulldogs. A captain's knock again from Kevin Sinfield. Here goes Burrow again.
This is where he's dangerous, Burrow, because he can sense when the forwards are getting tired in the opposition. They're a little bit lazy going into the tackle. He can duck and weave and take it off. Shove it into the corner now. Apply that pressure.
Burrow will hoist the kick up high. He's safe as houses, Billy Slater.
That was good refereeing as well by Ashley Klein. He turned around to two players who had just gone in front and said, leave him alone. He's tried his best, you know, the official, to make this into a fast-flowing game. It was always going to be difficult in these conditions, but you've got to give both sides credit. This has been a classic game. Okay, not as much fancy work as perhaps we would have liked, but it's been rough and it's been tough, and I've loved every single minute.
Here's Will Chambers for Melbourne Storm, but watched all the way by Ablett, and Lee Smith ought to be careful. Doesn't want to give away a penalty here. It's Anthony Quinn. It's 7 months since Melbourne Storm last lost against the Sydney Roosters on the 27th of July. They've got 10 minutes to rescue this Carnegie World Club Challenge. from Leeds Rhinos. Cronk with the high kick to turn Brent Webb around. No, the ball will bounce awkwardly for Scott Donald. And the defender there, Adam Blair, just fell off the tackle, but Jeff Lima didn't. Here's Lee Smith. Tagatese got to him. His ref allowed, finished him off.
He grabbed the collar, didn't like it.
Peacock.
3. Stand.
9.25 minutes and counting for the Rhinos. Lauatiti.
4.
How many times for Leeds has he just come on and done the right thing? Just a little delayed pass, gets through the tired defenders.
Surrender.
It's good work. They're sharing the workload as well, the Rhinos.
Almost up to halfway. The kick from Sinfield is important. There it is. Just drilled over the top. Will bounce a couple of times. Billy Slater picks up. Billy Slater! They've broken the tackle once. He is so dangerous.
He's brilliant.
Aiken gets the ball to Hoffman. Lee Smith scrags him to the deck. Oh, and a penalty. Lee Smith is judged to have just kicked that ball as he tried to play it, and the referee, Ashley Klein, is spot on.
Well, there's one thing being enthusiastic, and he certainly was on that occasion, but there's another thing, and the young players eventually will learn. He'll have a few words of wisdom from his coach, Brian McLennan.
Now then, this is a big set of 6 for Leeds. Lima will drive it in. That's the first one. And there is Gaia. This is Carfusi. Halted by Jamie Peacock. They're banged under the sticks. 2 tackles gone. Here is Aitken. Aitken showed it to Hoffman. Went himself, Aitken.
Slater's out wide on the right.
Gaia to Cronk. A dab through from Cronk. Picked up and run over the dead ball line. It's going to be a goal line dropout. Ali Lauatiti thought he'd defused the bomb. Or the dink over the top rather than the bomb. But he ran from the field of play.
It was pretty close. And what about the positioning by the official? Look at that. Ashley Klein, how on earth did he anticipate the kick where thousands didn't?
Ali Lauatiti, Samoan in the 2008 World Cup, even though he's won 19 caps for New Zealand. And the goal line dropout makes its way almost to halfway. And Tagatese picks it up and maybe had a little juggle there. The Leeds fans were appealing for the knock-on. Here is Carfusi. They've not given this up yet, Melbourne.
No, how important is that one drop goal from Sinfield? Just that little bit of a comfort blanket.
Here's Slater. Oh, and put the ball down. Senior has it back. That's the mistake.
They realise they've got to test their arm, though. They know they've got to score twice, so they've got to do it very quickly indeed. Another Leeds player down in the background. Can't see who it is. It's Senior.
Well,
you're going down like ninepins.
He looks in a bit of distress, Keith Senior, but he's a brave character, tough cookie. As Ellis takes it over halfway for Leeds on the 3rd tackle. Rob Burrow waits at dummy half. They go down that left channel with Peacock.
And that shows you the experience. Gareth Ellis takes it up, then Jamie Peacock. They know, get into position. They've got the quality of kicking with either Rob Burrow or Kevin Sinfield.
This is the last tackle. Will Sinfield have another pop? No. He'll clip it over the top instead. And Tagatese did well under pressure from Webb. News of Keith Senior, Bill?
A real dilemma for Leeds Rhinos at the moment. They've left Keith Senior out there, and he's saying that he's going to run this ankle problem off. Willie Poaching, the trainer on the bench for the Rhinos, he's like a demented tic-tac man over this side, gesturing that they should get Senior off, but they've decided to leave Senior out there to see if he can last it. Could be risky.
5.5 minutes to go. 11-4, Leeds Rhinos ahead. Cronk with the kick to turn Brent Webb around. Here come the chasers. Chambers is after this. But it is just too dead, just too deep. It runs dead. He took a big gamble then. Will Chambers was steaming up behind Brent Webb.
It's been a wonderful display, hasn't it, from Cooper Cronk getting that ball downfield against this very strong wind. They have the upper hand against the Leeds outfit when it comes into the kicking and chase game. But this is roll the sleeves up time now.
5 to go. 5 minutes between Leeds and their second World Club Challenge. Lee Smith.
Roll the big fellas out now.
Senior comes off the field. That's what the applause is in the background as Bailey takes it forward for the Rhinos on halfway. 3 tackles gone.
Where's the next fella?
It is Peacock. Down he goes. 4 tackles gone. Nothing fancy from Leeds now, surely. Jamie Jones-Buchanan.
Burst.
Last
Speed.
tackle.
Gonna be a good kick.
Burrow. Cross field. Looking for Lee Smith out here. Gets Lee Smith, but Smith is
Turnover.
clattered by Will Chambers. That will be the turnover.
That was cool as well by the centre Chambers. He could have just lost his head a bit there and tried to take the man out while he was still in the air. He made sure he'd hit the ground first before he made contact.
Nice bit of gamesmanship there by Lee Smith. He was tackled with the ball and wouldn't release it, just to wind the tackle count the time down a little bit. Only seconds, but seconds could be vital here tonight.
Well, that was silly by the winger, Anthony Quinn. For some known reason, Melbourne had the possession. Quinn came in and could have put a shoulder charge into Gareth Ellis. Could have been penalised.
3.5 to go. Maybe the last throw of the dice here.
What
What a
good
run that was from Manu.
Can
4
he be-
tackles gone. Gaia.
Can it be the Manu of the moment, Eddie? That's what they're looking for.
Oh, brilliant run from Cooper Cronk. That's the last one. What would they give Melbourne for an extra set of 6 here? What would they give for a 4-pointer converted? It's with Hoffman. It's with Chambers. It's with the winger. Now I think he's in touch, is he? This is a massive call coming up. This is a massive call coming up from Phil Bentham. Touch judge has got his flag up. He says he's in touch. Phil Bentham has Chambers got this ball down.
Watch for the foot. No,
Oh, it's in touch.
the touch judge was spot on. He was confident.
It's Anthony Quinn. There's the whitewash mark. The touch judge got it spot on. Anthony Quinn. Phil Bentham says no try. It's a turnover.
You have to admire Melbourne, Eddie. I think that defensively they've been so good in this game. Even a few minutes ago when it looked as though the game had gone against them, they still got back on side as quickly as possible. They've fired up and into Leeds. And the Rhinos haven't been pushed this side for a long time.
No, they haven't, and victory it be. Look at this. Look at this defence from Melbourne. They're looking for this win, you know. Even though there's less than 3 minutes to go, they believe they can still win this. And then win if it is for Leeds. What a cost, with some stars off the field and injured at the end. It'll be the emergency room at Headingley on Monday morning.
Certainly will. Brian McLennan will be very, a little bit upset when regards to what has happened here, but he'd be happy with the fact the way the Leeds have really rolled up their sleeves, done some solid hard work, and they've got down the field of play. They haven't done anything fancy, but you have to admire the way that Melbourne has just given it every single thing out there tonight.
Billy Slater picks the ball up at pace. Great tackle, Ali Lauatiti. Here's Israel Folau. Two minutes and counting. What a boost for the Super League if this run of success in the World Club Challenge continues, and it looks like it will now.
It's got to be a chip over the top. They've got to do something different.
Lima, bang, what a hit! Bailey. Gaia.
That was super
Cronk.
stuff, wasn't it?
Cronk down the line looking for the winger. He got a shout, I think, from the referee.
He was in front. And again, good work by the official.
But it's going to be 11, 4 and 15 played in a minute and a quarter.
I think Lauatiti's about to hit up again, and I think he's had an enormous second half. He really has been good today. You know, he's made some good decisions on not to pass at times and just get him forward. But you know, he had a great read under the goalpost there. He can play footy. He knows when to play and knows when not to play.
Oh, swinging arm there.
But Brian McLennan knows he's just 45 seconds away from a World Club Challenge success in only his 5th match in charge. Crowds celebrating. There's no comeback for Melbourne Storm now. They can't score 7 points in half a minute. Not even to force the extra time and the golden point. This is Billy Slater. What a talent. What a talent.
He's been outstanding.
That's it.
Polish the trophy.
An enormous effort from Melbourne, and it has been countered by a gritty, gutsy, determined effort from Leeds, but at the cost of some big names off the field injured. Maguire, Senior and Tupi. Brian McLennan has returned to Ellen Road, where he won the Tri-Nations final with New Zealand, and he has won the Carnegie World Cup Challenge for the Leeds Rhinos.
A tremendous effort. The crowd has certainly enjoyed it. In atrocious conditions at times. It was like a cyclone out there. But I'm afraid it wasn't the storm that was going to take away the bacon tonight. As Tony Smith, our guest, mentioned, Lawatiti at times, he's come on for Leeds and he's swung the game with his skill, with ball in hand. But tonight, it's been his hard work that has got Leeds home.
Tony, I know that you are now strictly neutral, but this is your team. This is your team of last year. How are you feeling?
No, great. I'm delighted for him. No, it's not my team at all. Brian's done a great job here. This is fantastic for the game.
It is fantastic. Let's go down to Bill, who's got some of the stars with him.
Kevin, Melbourne Storm made you fight all the way for that. It's probably dig as deep as you had to win a final.
Yeah, the conditions are awful, Bill. You're down on pitch side, winds blowing a gale. Our forwards were immense. Take me out of two on me. They were awesome. Our backs, got in and did some work. But our forwards, the defence they showed was awesome. And credit to Melbourne, they've come over here and they paid a lot of respect to the competition. They've been great in the press, I thought, and it was a cracking game. I think it could have gone either way. But, we're pleased and obviously delighted to get it.
In terms of a defensive effort, that was probably as good as it gets.
Yeah, well, we've been building for this for a long time. I know we've said in the press and the media how much it meant to us, but since the grand final last year, this has been the focus for us, and we've got better each week in Super League, and we've done it tonight. We had enough.
You probably just did enough to keep Storm at arm's length, didn't you?
Yeah, they're a quality side, and it's a different type of football when you're playing against Aussie teams. But we're obviously delighted to be here, so very happy.
Thanks, Kevin.
Can I just say hello to my wife and my 2 boys at home? I love you all.
Well, look at the face of Dallas Johnson, because he's not impressed. They've come all this way and they're going home beaten. But Kevin Sinfield is the man of the match. 42 tackles from Dallas Johnson. That shows you that that man came, put his body on the line. But Leeds, look, there is Tupi. Sini looks okay, but Tupi with the shoulder, and Danny Maguire off as well, and it all depends how they shape up now in the next week or two for Super League.
And it also shows the defence from Melbourne has been very strong indeed. Those injuries came about by some terrific tackling. You've already mentioned the fact that Dallas Johnson, an amazing effort, but full credit to the Leeds outfit. They knew what they had to do in that second half. It was an amazing thing to think that the Storm had a better kicking game in that second half against the wind. But it was obvious that the Rhinos, they decided to just say, let's get into a good position. They didn't bother about getting the height to get the wind behind it. They just played it into the corner. An amazing effort from Billy Slater.
Well, look at the faces on the Melbourne Storm players. 12 months ago, we saw Wayne Bennett and Darren Lockyer absolutely distraught the fact that Brisbane lost. Today, Phil, the Melbourne Storm players are as upset that they've lost.
And I think if the sport of rugby league is serious about growing, then this event needs to be perhaps expanded and taken outside of the UK. We've seen today a fantastic game, but I think that the administrators of the game, both here and in Australasia, need to consider whether this game can grow and be played elsewhere.
Well, the mere fact of the matter is there's over 33,000 in Ellen Road here tonight, and it has caught the imagination of the British public. It's up to the Australians now to pick up the baton and run with it. But here they come, the Leeds Rhinos, the World Club Challenge winners of 2008. first. Kevin Sinfield, of course, the skipper, went and picked his man of the match trophy up before this. And just as we watched Danny Maguire receive his winner's medal, the captain Sinfield and the new coach Brian McLennan embraced. And well, he's got a smile on his face, Clinton Tupi, though he must be in absolute agony with a dislocated shoulder. And big game for Ali Lautiti, big game for Gareth Ellis. And Kylie Luluai put it about a bit as well, didn't he? So Kevin Sinfield comes up at the back of the line after the coach Brian McLennan, and he will lift the trophy because Leeds Rhinos are the Carnegie World Club Challenge winners of 2008. A fantastic effort from Leeds. They beat the best club side in the world, and they beat the weather conditions as well.
Tremendous effort, and what a proud moment for this guy. He steered his teammates around this park tonight. Sheer professionalism from Kevin Sinfield, but it was a deep-down team effort. They really had to slug it out because this Melbourne side, they did not give in at all.
More smiles on the faces of the Leeds Rhinos players. Another trophy in the cabinet at Headingley. Credit the Melbourne Storm, though, Phil. They played their part in a great game.
They did, and I think for any young player watching, want to know how to kick the ball, just watch that game over again and just analyse Cooper Cronk. I mean, on a difficult pitch with shorting goals, I remember one kick that actually trapped Brent Webb in goal. I know his chasers did the work, but the kicking game from him was so good, and it put Leeds under pressure on so many occasions that they did well really to survive the back of that.
Well, they're having the time of their lives, and the party will go on, but there are some injured bodies amongst the joyous Leeds Rhinos players. And Clinton Tupi there with his arm in a sling. It's his birthday, but he's doing his best to take part in this, and why shouldn't he? Leeds are champions of the world.